But last year we were in the middle of the East Wing renovations. It was hardly the time for a long, extravagant trip. I know, I said, tucking a bit of hair behind my ear. She was bristling for a fight, and if she started snapping, I knew it would be impossible to sway her. I know. But now, the house is all done. The children are old enough to travel. I'm sure they'd all love to see Arcanus. Camille shook her head, backing away from the canvas, her eyes drifting around the room as if looking for something to improve. She approached a chaise and plumped a down pillow until it stood on its own like a tuft of meringue. Oh, no. The children would never come with us to court. They'd stay behind with their governess, of course. I took a quick breath, hope reaching high into my chest like a man drowning at sea and grasping for a life raft. But we could go? Oh, Camille, think of how fun it will be. We haven't been to the mainland since Mercy moved to court. Annalie could come too, and I'm sure Honor would join us. Forestia isn't that far from the capital, and perhaps even Lenore. I stumbled to a halt as I always did whenever Lenore came up. My third oldest sister was a complete mystery to me. Lenore is Lenore. I doubt she'd... Camille ran a quick hand over her hair again, as if assuring herself that everything was still in place. All of that does sound... It could be quite agreeable, she allowed. But your birthday is next week. There's no possible way we could have everything ready by then. The travel alone is a full day by our fastest clipper. Perhaps we could arrange something this fall, before churning. My face fell. We wouldn't. The weather would grow bad. The twins would get sick. Camille would have half a dozen excuses by then, none of which I could argue against because she was older and wiser and a duchess, and you might be able to lead a spirited debate if it were simply the first two, but her title was as formidable as a citadel high atop a hill, bordered by a barbed stone wall and a moat. Camille crossed to the giant windows overlooking the Salton cliffs. She made a beautiful silhouette in front of the dramatic landscape, and my fingers itched to sketch her. I could envision the first long lines, gently curved to indicate the flow of her mauve skirts. It would be the perfect juxtaposition for the thick, short spikes I'd use for the cliffs. We should do something festive, though, she mused. What about a party? I was too surprised to respond. Once Camille fixed her mind on something, trying to budge her from it was like prying a barnacle off the seawall. What do you think? She asked, turning back to me, the weight of her stare cool and steady. I think that sounds wonderful. How many people could we invite? Mercy said the princesses have been wanting to visit. Spring would be the perfect time for them to see Highmoor. And if Beatrice comes, you know Phineas will too, probably. Oh, the crown prince at my birthday! My heart fluttered as I recalled Mercy's descriptions. He's supposed to be madly in love with dancing. Perhaps we can make it a ball. Not a terribly formal one, of course. I know how much work they take, but maybe... Enough, Camille said, breaking through my haze of ideas like a battering ram. You've overexcited yourself, Verity. I haven't, I promised, feeling the heat in my throat even as I protested. My imagination had the tendency to run ahead of me, like a young colt racing after its own legs. You're flushed scarlet, she pointed out. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to mislead you with thoughts of a large affair. I only meant a family dinner, something cozy and intimate. Cook has been eager to try out some new recipes with the spring vegetables. It would just be us. And Annalie and Cassius, of course. Oh, of course, I said, feeling small. She wandered over to the shelves of books before pausing at a small portrait of all our sisters. Well, most of our sisters. Back when there were 8 of us. We'd originally been 12 strong, but our 3 oldest, Ava, Octavia, and Elizabeth, passed away in quick succession after our mother died giving birth to me. Then, years later, Eulalie followed after them, slipping from the same cliffs Camille had just been in front of. The triplets died.